Homework Chapter 9.3C Solving Review 9.1 to 9.3. Number 1. Identify the solutions x-intercept of the graph. X-intercept are the points where the graph cuts or meet x-axis. So in this case, there are 2 points where it meets the x-axis, and that's going to be -1, 0 and 3, 0. Or in other words, you can just simply write x-intercept is -1, 3. So there are 2 x-intercept because graph cuts at 2 points. In this case, which for number 2, the graph is above the x-axis, so it's not meeting the x-axis at any point. So there is none x-intercept, there is none x-intercept. For number 3, the graph is meeting the x-axis only at one point, which is -5. So this is going to be a repeating root, -5, 0, -5, 0. Or in other words, you can write -5, -5, which is the same solution, or it's called repeating root or one real solution. So this one is one real solution, this is no real solution, and the first one is two real solutions. So this one is two real solutions. Solve by factoring mean you're going to use the cross method, and on top of the cross is 14. On the bottom is the middle term, that is 9. Two numbers you're looking for are going to be 7 times 2, that makes it 14. 7 plus 2 is 9. X plus 7 times x plus 2 equals 0. Apply zero product property, you put them equal to 0 one by one. Subtract 7 here, you got x equals -7. Subtract 2 and you got x equals -2. If you look at the bottom question, solve by factoring, we know that other side of this should be always equal to 0. So it means that you always make one of the sides 0. So subtract x, -2 on both sides, and that makes the other side equal to 0. And then you're going to use the cross method. On top is -2. On bottom is 1, so the middle term is 1. The top one is -2. You're looking for two numbers. 2 times -1 is -2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. The two factors for number 6 are going to be x plus 2 times x minus 1 equals 0. Apply zero product property, put them equal to 0 one by one, and you got here is x equals -2 by subtracting 2. Add 1 on both sides, you got x equals 1. If you're looking for the square root problems means that you're going to isolate the x square. So in this case, you're going to divide 4, and you got x square equals 16. Take square root on both sides, and that's going to be x equals ±4. So again, every question is different. For factoring, you need the other side equal to 0. So it means that anytime you have other side a number, to apply factoring, you bring the other number to one side. Everything should be on one side, and one side, the other side should be 0. For factoring, other side should be 0. For square roots, you're going to isolate the square term. Whatever the square entity is should be isolated. For example, in number 8, you add 6 on both sides. 4x squared becomes 16, and then you divide with 4 in order to isolate x squared. You got x squared equals 4. And then you're going to take square root on both sides. So x squared equals plus or minus square root 4, and x becomes plus or minus 2 because square root 4 is 2. For example, number 10, completing the square means x terms by itself. Both the x terms should be on one side and a number should be on the other side. To do that, you're going to take the half of b, square it, and add on both sides. Add on both sides. So here you got x squared plus 4x plus 2 square 40 equals 45 plus 2 square, which is 49, because 45 plus 4 is 49. Now make it into a perfect square. X plus 2 squared equals 49. When you take square root on both sides, you got here is x plus 2 equals plus or minus 7. And when you subtract 2, you got two equation, x equals negative 2 plus or minus 7. So you got two answers. Two answers are type of minus 2 plus 7, that's 5. X equals minus 2 minus 7, that's negative 9. So for number 5, you should have other side equal to 0, and there is other side equal to 0 for factoring. On top is negative 8, bottom is 7. And two numbers are going to be negative 8 and 1. So the factors are x minus 8 times x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 8 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. You're going to find out x equals 8 and x equals negative 1.